What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled, Are You Willing to Fight for Your Best Life? Everybody say, I'm using the line, living your best life, right? But are people willing to actually fight for their best life? And what I mean by that is, if you have goals, dreams, aspirations, and ambitions, are you actually fighting for those things? Because, people say they want to live their best life, but usually what it looks like is they want to party the rest of their life away with, but not actually. The party is substituting actually accomplishing their goals, dreams, aspirations, and ambitions. So are you willing to fight for your best life? The things you say you want most, that you feel will make you the happiest, are you actively fighting for those things? Or if you are you productive or are you counterproductive? Are you paying attention to what you're doing? You feel me? Because ultimately, what it looks like, just from a person who observes society, people, even myself, is people are going to do way more regretting because they didn't actually live their best life than they actually are going to do celebrating living their best life. And the reason I say that is because you're going to have to make a sacrifice. And I don't think a lot of people are willing to make the sacrifices that need to be made in order to actually live their quote unquote best life. The time that you spend kicking it, you're gonna have to X that out. The time you spend relaxing, you might have to X that out for a time period. The time that you wanted to go on vacation, you might have to X that out. The time that you felt like, this is my time to have some me time, your me time might have to get cut short, because that goal of actually living your best life is gonna takes precedence over that moment. And I think about it as in like putting in for retirement. Like a person who's living their best life is living their best life. They just flying by the seat of their pants. They just doing whatever they want. They're having a great old time doing it. And then when it's time to retire, they can't, because they front end heavy. They live their best life at the expense of their elderly years. And then you got the people who were putting in for retirement, right? And now they've worked all of these years, accrued, put money aside, put money in retirement, took care of themselves, hopefully took care of their health. And now when they don't have to work and they're living off of their retirement, they're able to do, they're living their best life every day. They worked, they fought for their best life. Now the reason I say retirement, some people, this is a business plan. They had a business, a passion. They had a business that gave them that time. They had a passion that turned into a business that gave them that best life. But it was always an activity that was the catalyst for that best life that they had to work with, deal with, grow, learn some things about themselves, learn some things about, take some bumps and bruises along the way. But what I'm talking about right now is this. Your best life, if you're not really, um, if you're really not active in fighting for it, it's gonna haunt you. You know, all the things that you should have done, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't, it's gonna bother you. And you know, you can't control what happens and when it happens. You can only control what you do. You know, and that's the thing about this whole situation is some people fight for their best life and they persevere until they make it. And some people quit along the way and they just say, hey, I tried and I'm going to, you know, take this consolation prize of me living this type of best life when I can do it. And you can't judge either one. You know, if you tried and you failed, that's better than never trying at all, in my opinion. But if you're one of those people who never tried, then, but you were active in living your best life, and you never tried to fight to actually live your actual best life that you had that you set a goal for, then there's nothing to say to you, right? Because you really ain't about that. The other thing, what do you pass down to the next generation? Because, you know, when kids, like, I have no problem with kids being kids. That's what they're supposed to be. But when your kids know how to, like, I was one of them kids. I had fun. I danced. I played around. I made music. I had these hobbies. I played video games, all that other stuff, right? But I had a very healthy work ethic at a very young age. It never bothered me to work hard. It never bothered. Actually, that was one thing I always wanted to do, was outwork everybody around me. And if you learn how to have to sustain a good or great work ethic, it can take you places where the talent might not be able to get you. You could be very talented, but if your work ethic sucks, you can only get so far. You know, and that's the thing. The wealthiest people in the world normally are doing something every day. They're working every day. They're not chilling every day. But the difference is they've amassed so much wealth that they've created systems that their businesses can run cohesively if they're not hands-on every day. So they can actually get into other businesses while one business is working. That's why you see people who can do this and do real estate and do stock and do, you know, and be an author and this, that, and the third, because, you know, they can take their mentality, their hard work and ingenuity, and they got the machine running. So now they can add something to it. They can add something to it. They can add something to it. And in the interim, that propels them to actually live their best life, because I don't think people think somebody's best life is partying, vacation, and just chilling. I don't see it like that. I see people who have the freedom to build and amass not just wealth for themselves, but amass wealth for upcoming generations, and they keep working to gain knowledge so they can pass down the knowledge that even if their immediate family, extended family and friends don't want to enter into what you would consider probably the family business, that they'll have enough knowledge to take that wealth from what the family has made their mark at, and be able to have the mental capacity to take those into other avenues and to expand. But that's just my idea, my opinion. Could be right, could be wrong. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.